getting a lot more out of a dash training than Asher is. So we'll have to see. But I'm really liking what Flying Blobbos, or sorry, Core Party is coming in here with. And I'm curious to see what they do. I think they have a really well-balanced team comp here.
Yeah, and I think also with the combination of the Now and the Atlas, they're really going to be able to diffuse a lot of the sort of KO pressure that's coming out of the Flying Blobbos here. Of course, you have, Asher and Finii. Finii can do a lot of damage to set up the kills for the Asher. Kai can also chip in a fair bit and at least, tag people so that they don't regen. So there's a lot of kill pressure here coming out of Flying Blobbos. So if they can execute on that well, Core can still come back and say, actually, no, we have two characters that have three healing abilities between two characters, I should say. Because it's not just two characters with healing abilities. One of them has two. So a lot of potential to diffuse that, but it really just comes down to how well the teams play sort of the counters to each other. But we do see one barrier already going down here, Core Dynasty Party. Still standing on that one barrier, and of course, as you say, it's that one rental barrier. And especially on AtLab, that second barrier can kind of get in the way. So losing that first one isn't the worst. Losing the second one there, though, not quite the best. Alphamy, really good tech there. And Firemadin with the barrage on that Kai, just sneaking it through the bottom there. Flying Blobbos putting Core Dynasty Party on the back foot.
Yeah, a bit of a good start there for Flying Blobbos to keep the Kazan at level 2 for at least a little while longer as well. Notably here, a lot of missile props getting picked up by Flying Blobbos. Alphamy opting for it over the dash range, just get more range on the pass splitter, the ultimate, which is kind of interesting. I know Asher doesn't get too much out of either of those awakenings, but also we have Mag Souls on the Kai. Going magnetize soldiers to just get more, try and outpace the Now a little bit in the midfield, but it's still going to be kind of a tough battle nonetheless, though. They are off to a pretty decent start. We'll see here. Alphamy taking a lot of damage right now. He's got to use a pass splitter just to get this Kazan off of him. The barrier's falling down as well. They've been having a difficult time getting the core off their side of the field because, well, there's no brawler over there to really receive it. Now they're in a bit of a tough situation. Mikola dribbling quite hard, keeping the core up. Core flip's getting burned here just to try and buy some positioning. The offense going to be starting as we go into overtime here. Core Dynasty Party going to be looking for their opportunity to score before it's too late.
Yeah, we do see a lot of damage being exchanged here, especially in the early game. Both these teams have a lot of damage. Swag, however, intercepting that core flip from Asiainator, trying to get something done. Getting it to the top there, really nicely done. Just sort of battling out there. Mikhailo, of course, always an expert at that midfield feeding of just making sure that the core always gets to where it needs to go. So Swag, however, able to use a ton of abilities, just trying to keep the core in front, and as soon as it goes by, doesn't have to pull back, knows that the core is going to be right back in his hands before too long. Great core from Mikhailo there, diffusing the entirety of that Asher combo. Double ult from the Now and the Atlas to make sure that this Now is instantly in top condition. Maybe a bit of a waste here, because now Swag, however, is having to be a little bit low for a little bit longer, and in that kill range, a little uncomfortably, especially with the Black Hole coming up soon, but is going to live, is going to get the double barrier really nicely, so potentially just, a little bit of extra spice to make sure that he's paying attention and putting it in the net there, just barely. The slow Roomba goal bouncing around there. Unfortunate, just letting it go by, but sometimes it's just so difficult to predict what that core is going to do on those bounces.
Yeah, sometimes just goes where it needs to go. We'll see. On set point right now, big drafting opportunities for Core Dynasty Party. They have a lot of characters who really benefit from very specific things. So getting that first draft pick can be pretty big. You see Core Flip coming through. Not able to grab too much. Good defense from Firemadin here. Offense will be enough to get one barrier. The top spin is going to find another. Good repositioning from this Kazan. Looking to receive the pass. A lot of damage onto Alphamy. Holding onto that core flip, though. Could end up getting lost if the KO comes through, but so far holding fast. Gonna burn it to survive, but still not in a great position. Is falling back. The Kazan will find the KO. The power play is here now. Core flip comes out. It's gonna get stalled out in the big finish. Mikola looking to receive the core once again. Core flip coming out from the Kai, trying to get it through. Trying to buy a little bit of time. Finii also having to burn the core flip just to wait for their Asher to come back, who's now looking for some revenge. Pushing Mikola back into a corner here as we continue on and begin to go back to neutral just a little bit.
Yeah, back and forth and around the black hole it goes, such is the way with Atlab. Not actually catching the core in the black hole, kind of weird there. But we do see a core flip built up on Mikhaila here. Going to be looking to potentially use that quite soon, but doesn't quite have the opportunity just yet. Good interception on the passes there, though. The big finish gets it down to Atlas, but there's not quite enough. There we go. Swaghammer finds the angle, and that's the one problem with that Finii goalie. Very good ranged goalie, not quite so good in that melee, whereas Kazan is potentially one of the best forwards in melee, just with that ability to hook strike around people. So difficult to clear it around without abilities, and Finii just kind of used all of her abilities already on that forward pressure. Now being able to pick Egoist, of course, Monumentalist, not quite as much of a prio after the nerf, so it's no longer a heavy hit. It doesn't have that hit stun on it. Mon, can still be very good in the right circumstances, but leaving that up to the Atlas is really nice. And we actually see Finii picking up the Unstoppable just to prevent some tech where, of course, stunning the goalie is a really nice way to stop things from happening. So I would say overall, pretty solid draft here for the side of Dynasty Party, and not too bad on Flying Blobbos either. I mean, Prime Time on Kai, Rapid Fire on the Asher, and Unstoppable on any goalie is pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm liking what Dynasty Party cooked up there. You get size on your Kazan, you get the Mon, you get, of course, the Egoist, which I think was by far like the best pick on the table. So definitely rewarded for winning that first set. We'll see if they're able, how much they're able to get out of this. I imagine quite a lot here, as I mean already that energy bar is starting to fill up, and once it pops that first time, that's kind of when the chain event starts with that awakening. And a lot of damage though. Once again, going on to Alpha Me. They've been doing their best to keep this guy relatively low so that when the core does get back to him, they end up taking a lot of incidental damage and or risk of getting KO'd like we see right there. Just the core flip was enough to stagger him, and now Kazan can kind of come back and hunt for the kill.
Yeah, I actually really like the addition as well of the strike shot to just tag the Asher and prevent that region from happening. I think it was not quite spaced out perfectly, but it was still nice. We see core flip held by, unfortunate there. Mikhaila standing a little bit too close to the black hole, actually ends up killing herself there off the bounce, and that's going to be a power play ending in a goal, with it ending up in the Kai getting the goal. I thought Alphamy had gotten the goal there, but actually didn't even need to touch it there, just let Kai have the credit there. And that's a little unfortunate there. Mikhaila, underestimating the ability to survive there. Potentially forgot that the dash had or the dodge had a cooldown on it, so tried to use the energy reset from Egoist to get the immediate dodge, but can't quite do that one, unfortunately.
And now barriers tied up right now. Battle over midfield. Kazan trying to make a play with the hook here. The black hole doing a lot more damage to Alpha Me. Atlas Ult coming out as well to try and keep Mikola nice and healthy. Keep the stagger disparity going one way. Another KO onto the Brawler. It's going to be yet another power play beside Core Party. A nice back pass there, but Kai's doing a really good job of holding it down in the midfield. It hasn't left Core Party's side of the field this entire time, and that's enough time for their Brawler to come back. Get back into the play here. An immediate KO. The dash punch on Asher. Going to mean the power play has switched sides entirely. Core flip coming out from the Kai. The pop-up's going to block it here. Going to overtime. Core flip on the Atlas. Not going to be able to find too much. Both sides back to respawn. Both sides with still one barrier. And both sides looking for an opportunity to open up these gates.
Yeah. You see Swaghammer with the core flip going forward. Not using it just yet. Waiting for that opportune time. Going to use it right there. Waits out the barrage, but gets hit by the last little fireball in it. Also takes a bit of damage. They're not quite full commit from Alphamy there. Didn't quite have the entire kit to commit, I should say. But the Monumentalist on Atlas is pretty nice. Alphamy just barely missing the diagonal on the barrier there. Good clear into the goalie. Little blocker there. Or the goal blocker, I should say. Gets it around the Asher, and that's Swaghammer picking up the second barrier there. One barrier in favor of Core Dynasty Party. The goal is now open. Alphamy has the core flip, though, looking to potentially use it. Triple take, not quite a perfect connection. Ends up bouncing it down instead of back. Swaghammer using the entire kit. They're trying to trip up the enemy, but doesn't quite get a perfect angle on that. Messes up the combo a little bit, and that's going to be Alphamy forcing it down the bottom side here. Triple take as well, sends it forward this time properly. Swaghammer not quite able to do much with it against the Finii, and Alphamy with the barrier beam puts it right through the goal. Asiainator just not quite perfect on that core flip.
A nice block indeed. Well-timed barrier beam, just the tip of it. Managing to grab the core there. sink it right in. Flying Blobbos, an opportunity to take this setback. Bit of a rough black hole there. It is going to mean Swaghaver is in a bit of the red zone for the moment. You have to fall back and let Mikola handle a bit of the offense right now. Core flip is up. Pensado going to burn it here. It's going to get blocked away, though, and the barrier is going to fall down. Pop up to keep things going. An open goal, which could be a little bit rough. It could be Core Dynasty Party's chance to get back on the board here, but with Mikola down, it's a power play for the other side. Pass butter comes through. Expanse, not quite enough to hold it off, but they can hold it to just one barrier. It could be a success. Mikola back online now. Swaghaver trying to make his way up the field. Firemadin doing a good job so far in the midfield right now. Keeping this Kazan away from the core. So they can. Pop up in the corner. Not quite able to grab it. Going to jump over to the top side. There's a core flip up on Alphamy. But once again, Stagger going to burn it here. Pass to Firemadin. The Expanse going to stop it and gets KO'd for their efforts. Back pass there. A little bit dangerous, but Asiainator was ready for that one. Going deep into this overtime now. Core flip coming out. Going for the top, but blocked away once again. These sides have had really good reactions thus far. Keeping things held down.
Yeah. Sukor going over to Asiainator, has that core flip, but is waiting to use it. Knows that it's going to be forced into him sooner or later by that Asher, so wants to keep that available. Another kill onto the Kai this time. Power play for Core Dynasty Party. Potential, the opportunity to get the finish to this point here. Swaghaver misses the angle, though. Unfortunately, the now arrow is really nice to choke out the angles of the clear that Finii has, but it's not perfect. It doesn't quite result in the goal here. The Swaghaver as well, just barely missing the hook there. Asiainator holding onto this core flip. I'd almost love to see it just used for tempo, but he's trying to hold onto it for the defense. Sort of, a lot of different, cases can be made there. You can talk about how, it's better to use it for the forward pressure, but here we go. Forward pressure, speaking of, core flip forced out from Pensado. Gonna be the barrage clearing it in the end there. Alphamy going off the edge there. Another power play. This time, can Core Dynasty Party do it with the Asher off the map? But that's the Kai, the midfielder. He's there. The Giga Blast goes wide, though, and Swaghaver gets it finally with the ultimate. Gets it right through Finii there. Every ability having to be used already. Do power plays. It's what it took in the end for Core Dynasty Party to get on the board for this set. But they still have to get 2 more goals, whereas Flying Blobbos is only 1 point away from taking this set.
A bit of a hard-fought battle indeed. The Slogfest, a nice evade. Asiainator burnt the flip, and if he had spent that any quicker to strike the core, would have gotten KO'd by Alphamy, but stayed elusive just long enough to survive there. Good awareness as core flip's coming up for both sides right now. Swaghaver looking to make a play, but not quite able to find the crooked leverage. In the bottom corner, core flip coming out from Firemadin's gonna be able to find the second barrier now. Bounce off the black hole, gets to Alphamy in the top side, looking for the dash. Go with a nice clear up top. The triple take's gonna send it back in though. Ball is in the court. Core flip comes out. That's gonna find a KO. Mikola making the play and getting it up to Swaghaver. The second barrier down. Core flip from Swaghaver will get blocked. Now Mikola once again looking to set up his offense. Diamond up the Kazan. Doesn't find it on the first one, but luckily is able to catch up to it in time and sink it in. Core Dynasty Party being able to tie it up on set point.
Yeah, tying it up. I mean, you can almost imagine Flying Blobbos. They had a very convincing lead here, but now Core Dynasty Party is, clawing their way back in this set. Alphamy, though, using the ultimate, gets that first barrier. Swaghaver getting the double on the other side, though, almost, and there it goes in. Beautifully done there with the strike reset after using the primary. Just perfectly done there. Textbook Kazan there, and a well-deserved MVP in the end, even if some of that set MVP comes from ping-ponging with the goalie for a solid minute into overtime. Not great Kazan awakenings here, I would say, but, has a couple of options and potentially explosive entrance or the reverb. Orb Dancer, Glass Cannon even is just a nice pick. Not perfect when you're getting brawled on, but it's speed when you're able to run away from your opponents if they're chasing you down. If you have a split second, then you can potentially get away and start the stacking on that.
Get the Deadeye pickup on the now as well here. Get some harder hitting. Those primaries are going to actually be pretty deadly at this point. They already hit pretty hard, and with that, you can easily launch someone off the map. And of course, you can make the core go really, really fast when they do land a hit. Good awakenings all around. I'm liking what Firemaden's build is looking like, though. This is God's weakest Kai build, potentially. It's got speed, got a lot of projectile range. The Giga is definitely going to be tough to deal with. And Flying Blobbos as well. Starting off strong coming out of that draft as well, as they're going to be first up on the board.
Yeah, we do see as well. I think the Deadeye was also a deny from the Finii, of course, just to prevent some of those cards with the Missile Prop Deadeye combo, just deleting people from the map. One barrier, though, goes down on each side here. You see Swaghammer trying to do a little bit of a dribble on the bottom there, but doesn't quite have solid control of the core, not quite enough damage as well onto the Kai. We see a core flip right in front of the barrier to secure it. Not a bad choice there, just to open the goal there. Kyla forced to use the energy to dodge, has the Egoist, of course, from earlier, and is staying alive off of that energy. But in the end, it is not enough. Alphamy having to commit a lot of abilities to it, but does have that rapid fire, so can commit a lot more barrier beams than normal. Asiainator holding on to this core flip, finally going to use it there, misses the angle to get the barrier, but does get it forward, and that's the most important thing there. Clears it away. Me, though, able to send the core in with a bit of an Asher Tech barrier beam to stall the core and a strike up to the top, tripping up Asiainator. Really well played there by
Yeah, looking pretty good, Asher, and got a lot of energy to work with here as well. Pretty good advantage to potentially close out this set. Core flips coming out from Firemaden, try and keep things going. They've got the first barrier, trying to lock in for the second. A nice strike shot from Asiainator. Brings down one in return, though. Pensando looking to clear it back out the bottom side. A crook leverage comes through, forces the flip out. This Finii put in the defensive situation. So I think we're doing pretty well in this 1v2, keeping the core up. Mikkel is finally able to get back up there, but the ball back in Asianator's court once again. Gonna have to make the clear. The Atlas ult coming out to keep Swaghammer alive. Jumping in. The barrier's still standing, though. The defense will hold for Flying Blobbos. Midfield and goalie will be locked in and keeping it going well. Getting it back over to Alphamy. Dribbling on the bottom side, but is now just running a little bit too fast and is able to scoop the core away. The Egoist, or sorry, not the Egoist prop, the Orb Dancer prop coming through. And a core flip up for the Asher. Not quite able to grab a hold of it just yet, but going into overtime, maybe the core people provide a chance. The pass splitter will stuff the corner, but gets KO'd with the flip still up. Perhaps not a worthwhile trade there. They aren't able to convert. Crook leverage coming through, but the barrier still staying up. Well, now not even a core flip from Swaghammer. That's going to change all of that. With an open goal, it's going to slide right in. Mikolo with the shot. We'll be keeping Core Dynasty in the set.
Yeah, and that was a really big point as well, not only preventing the set from being secured there by the Flying Blobbos, but also with that kill onto Alphamy, resetting those Dancer stacks all the way back down to 0. So it's going to be a while before Asher is as fast as she was. Nice clear away as well by Asiainator around the black hole. Swaghammer gets it down into the corner, but not quite perfectly. Firemaiden is there on the assist on Pensando. So we see almost the double angle there from Swaghammer, but good defense as well from this Finii into the Kai. But the barrier beam is a little bit too early there. Asiainator able to clear it around. Pass down to the corner. Mikhaila racing across the field here. The primary from Swaghammer gets it through the now arrow as well. Keeps it on the side of the field, catching that rebound really nicely. Big finish. Not triggered there to tag the Kazan. Just going to slow him down as much as possible. We see some dribbling here cheekily at the bottom with the hook as well. But Firemaiden is on top of it until right then when now sends it through. Mikhaila with the strike into the arrow just in case Firemaiden. But Firemaiden was just so caught off guard by that wasn't quite able to do it. And now Core Dynasty Party again. They've been here before. They've been 5th point, second set in the lead. They did end up winning last game, but of course, it was a hard-fought battle, and they did lose lose a set before then. And that's I immediately talk about it happens. Firemaiden able to get a really solid Giga right between Mikhaila and Asiainator. Maybe I should just stop cursing some teams, but I kind of just want to see them play a little bit more. So Alphamy going to be the MVP on this one for that super fast Asher. Has the option here for the Orb Ponder to match with the Dancer. Denies the Atlas as well, but could go for so many other really good awakenings here. Fighter flight stacks on stacks. Size in general with Big Fish is also amazing.
You know, for the size on the Asher, it looks like Fighter flight pickup on the Atlas. More of a deny, really, against Firemaiden. He's going to end up getting the pancakes anyway. This Firemaiden guy is terrifying. The Kai build has come online last set, and it is just become uber giga-mocked Kai at this point. We do get more size on the Kazan with the Might of the Colossus. Extra she'll pick up for the now. But, I mean, I think it's all eyes on Firemadin at this point. Because, I mean, this Kai is running at Mach speed. The Giga Blast covers the entire map. And just been making really good decisions throughout the match, especially on defense. Been really limiting what Swaghaver has been able to do, which on a character like Kazan, kind of used to be able to get away with a lot of stuff. And Sad Boy's angle coming out off of the now primary, but Piccolo will rectify the damage and bring down the barrier regardless here. Trying to feed it up to Swaghaver, goes for the core flip, but can't quite find it. The offense will continue in a really good position right now. Core Dynasty will be able to make it happen. Be first up on the board.
Yeah, taking a lead in the set now, coming off the momentum of last set, of course, where they were a little bit behind for a while. But of course, that is until this Asher and this Kai can stack up their speed awakenings. As the set progresses, we'll start to see Flying Blobbos take a few more advantages, so Core Dynasty Party will be looking to either KO them or close out the set before that happens, otherwise it's going to be even more of an uphill battle. Great core flip there from Pensando, able to clear it out. Alphamy not quite able to get the double barrier, but one is enough for now. The big finish as well keeps it forward. Alphamy tries to get through, but Asiainator is on the defense really nicely. The core flip comes out, and the kill flip as well from Alphamy. Two core flips used for very different purposes, one to kill, one to core control. And so far, the power play is not super worth it. The Giga Blast kind of interferes there a little bit, not a perfect angle on it. Alphamy just struggling to get through the Cosmic Expanse from this Atlas. That secondary is just so brutal to go against. The big finish tries to keep it forward, tries to get it through, but Mikaela and Asian are just on top of things. Swaghaver even going for the black hole dribble there, trying to get into barrier, but both these goalies in midfield combos are just so good at defending here that it's so difficult for the forwards to get through. It just keeps going back and forth and back and forth. We're now into overtime. The red cores are coming out. Firemadin has that core available, is not going to use it just yet. Now there we see it. Bounces up and around to the black hole almost, but Alphamy catches it. The big finish kind of making the core do a little bit of an S-curve there. Goes around not quite perfectly. There we go. Swaghaver finding the bounce into the barrier, getting it sort of in that behind pocket really nicely. Also has that core flip available for the next time he gets it, but that's another barrier going down on the other side of the map. Alphamy going forward. The Giga Blast not quite hitting the core, but does hit the Atlas for a second there. Two core flips, both used. Really unfortunate. The big finish as well, perfectly timed, but Swaghaver absolutely nails the core flip to the top corner there, just ending that point in a split second with 3 core flips being used by Core Dynasty Party to turn the situation around.
Yeah, but now 3 flips gonna be out for Flying Blobbos. Not a lot to work with outside of Core Dynasty. They do have the Egoists, which is nice. So we'll see if they're able to keep up the momentum here and seal the deal, or Flying Blobbos is gonna be able to mount another comeback. A lot of speed coming through on Firemadin. Swaghaver looking to get set up on the bottom side. Core flip from Pensando. We'll be able to dime up Alphamy, and that's one barrier gone. Swaghaver looking for another chance at the barrier. The core going to be getting away once again. Going to fight this guy on the top side, but he will get through. Over to Alphamy back in the midfield. A nice crook leverage. He'll yoink it right away from Pensando, and that's the second barrier down finally. Swaghaver looking to make the play at the top spin. Not quite able to connect. The triple take coming out, but sends it a bit of an unfortunate angle. The goal credited to Asiainator there. And a bit of an unfortunate turn of events, but Core Dynasty Party, they will be sealing the deal, and well, they'll be moving on to Liftoff.
Yeah, congratulations to Core Dynasty Party for qualifying officially. Flying Blobbos, though, don't go anywhere. We will be seeing them again in the tiebreaker. We do have one more match to play before that to determine who they're going to be tie-breaking against, but I mean, looking at the stats here, we saw the midfielders, as per usual, at these higher levels. You see a lot of midfield play. Firemadin and Mikaela having the highest number of redirects by pretty far. They're first and second pretty close, 253, 245. The next highest is going to be 200 on Asiainator there. So just really good play there from both teams. I mean, Flying Blobbos almost had that comeback. They were very close on it. And, you know, it might just be the Core Dynasty Party way of, you know, let him have one set, let him get that one, and then continue onwards. But we're going to see how that continues with Launchpad and the tiebreaker later on. Yeah.
Yeah,